Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Galindo. Welcome to another tutorial of mine. This one is about Illustrator pretty much solely, but also a little bit about using materials efficiently with a laser cutter. Now to start with, our boxes, right? You can see a visualization of a box or a case design on your computer screen. You can also see I've got a box here in the webcam view, and it's made up of all these panels. Now, if you look at the view on the screen, you can see that if I had all that material, I waste a heck of a lot of it because all the bits are so spread out. And this is great for visualizing, but it's not great for efficiency because I don't want to waste all that material. It's expensive, it's not worth it. So, what we're going to do is we're going to have to, first of all, upload this file to our classroom. Before that, we're going to modify it slightly, and then after it's uploaded to the classroom on our assessment here, you'd want to actually go back and then download it from the computer that's plugged into the laser cutter, and this is so you can then modify it on the laser cutter's Illustrator program. Now I'm going to do the modifications on this computer because it's easy to fit it into one video, and it's the same program, so all the buttons are the same. However, it's ever so slightly different, like the color. I think it's lighter grey instead of this dark grey. Now, what we're going to do is you should already have a file open that is the size of the material in the laser cutter, or if you're the first lucky person, you're going to have to go File New. When you create, excuse me for going off screen, an Illustrator file, you can specify the size. And I've got here a piece of material that, whoops, this side, I can't fit it all in, that I would put into the laser cutter. Now, this 3mm piece of plywood is cut down so it will fit in our machine, and I have specified its size with a tag on sticky tape in that corner. We'll remove this once it's in the machine, so if you're the first person to use it, you're going to have to make sure you create a file that's this size. Now, it goes in so that the long edge is its width, its height is the short edge. So, if you see on the screen here, we're going to name this case material 1. Just check which number we're up to with me or another teacher, and then you're going to use these sizes here. So, first of all, what we're going to do is make sure that we've got custom profile. Then the size, we're going to select the width. Now, I've got to check it, it's 650mm. by 545mm. Having done that, I'm then going to make sure that under Advanced I've selected RGB color. Quite important, this one. Having done that, I'm going to click OK, and I've got a nice big blank material that looks surprisingly like this piece here. Okay, I'm going to put this down and stop waving it around, and I'm now going to point out to you that this new file opened up in a tab up the top, and you can switch between your file and the tabbed file. Now, if the case material is already loaded up and other people have used it, it should just be here. What we're going to do is we're going to copy in our designs, and to do that you need to just check what layer you are on. Now, I've gone to the side here and I've selected the layers option, and under the layer I'm going to right click on the current one, and I'm going to rename it. Oh, sorry, I double clicked on it in the end. My name, okay, Mr. Galindo, that's me. Now, if you don't have one already, you need to go New Layer and rename it, okay, so it's yours. And then you need to select it. So I'm going to select mine, it's highlighted here. I'm going to go back over to my Dragster Case design, and I'm going to hold Shift and click on all the parts that I want to cut out. Now, we actually want to cut all of these parts out in plywood except for one, and it's this top one here. So we're just going to deselect that one. So you only need these 4. Clicking Control C or copy, we move back over to the other file and go Control V, and you can see it's pasted in. And this is the bit where we need to kind of try to make sure we're using some smarts to make sure that the template is nice and neatly organized. Now I'm just going to click and drag all these files together so that I don't use too much material. And you can see here I'm trying to keep everything nice and neat and quite close together. There's individual bits, and that's fine. So obviously you can only be so neat with it, but that's pretty good. Alright? Now make sure that there is a little bit of a gap, but not too much. That's perfect there. If you were to be doing this again and you were the second person, for example, so say I'm going to pretend there's two of me, I'm just going to call this one FG instead. I would have pasted in and I would have found that it's on a different layer, and obviously I don't want to go over somebody else's material, so I'm going to have to make sure that I do a layout which fits around that, and this is where the whole idea of making sure we're efficient with our material comes into it. Okay, we do want to make sure that we're being efficient. Now you can rotate by going up to the corner and holding shift and rotating. Rotating, holding shift rotates by a standard amount. So I'm going to do it about there. And then I'm going to line it all up. And you can see there that I've managed to squeeze in two designs pretty efficiently. You can get up to 3, I reckon. Sorry, up to 4, maybe 5.5. We'll see how many you can squeeze in. And of course, each wooden panel is a slightly different size. So depending on what size you got, you might fit more or less in. Okay, once you've done that, and it's your go to laser cut, all you want to do is make sure that you are the only layer that's visible, and you can do this by selecting the eye here, okay, and then you're up to the laser cutting stage, and that's going to be the next video. Thank you for watching. That's another short Illustrator tutorial.